Keep doing these things in your operations. If you're locating a new operation, and Kent and the Coalition work with producers very closely on this. Really, when it comes to odor nuisance, there is no substitute. Well, there is let me say it this way. I don't think there's an absolute substitute for a good separation distance. The further the better. There are things you can do to account for the fact that you don't have as much separation distance as you might like. And that's what these things are listed below. But you start with, get the best separation distance you can. Pay attention to prevailing winds. All separation distances are not created equal. The prevailing winds in Iowa are primarily, the prevailing winds are south to even a little bit southeast, but primarily right out of the south. And many people think southwest, but that's not what the records show. So pay attention to that when you're locating an operation and you're looking at separation distances. Tree buffers, again, all the Iowa Pork Producers Association and the Coalition and other groups work with producers on planting trees. Tree buffers, science shows, help reduce odor, mix up the wind patterns, and all of that, your shelter belts, etc. Tree buffers are very important. Biofilters in certain situations should be looked at, not all. Some sites don't need it, depending on these other factors, and there are various types of biofilters out there. I'm sure there are people upstairs who can give you information on biofilters. If your operation, again, has some other factors that may be causing you a problem in with your neighbors, and your separation distance may not be as great or something, then take a look at biofilters. The fourth bullet point there is one, I harp on this every year, and I know others do too, but clean pigs in buildings. Don't sell yourself short for taking good care of those pigs, for spending the money on a good ventilation system. That means whatever that system is, because when pigs are comfortable, you know this better than I, when they're comfortable, when the ventilation is working, the manure goes down in the pit. It doesn't get covered all over the pig because that pig is uncomfortable. When that pig's uncomfortable and they're covered with manure to try and stay cool, that creates more odor. And again, when I get involved in these cases as an attorney, I try and focus on, with the producer, again, one of the things we do to reduce odor, we have a good ventilation system and therefore clean pigs. Manure treatments and additives, there are a lot of products out there, and I'll leave those to you. It's something that you should take a look at in certain situations. And then just plain timing of manure agitation and application. Work with your neighbors about when it's done. Let them know when you're going to do it. If it works in your situation, in your neighborhood, just try to work with your neighbors, knowing that you have to pump those pits sometime. Let them know when you're going to do it. And if they can tell you, hey, I've got some time that weekend, if they'll be reasonable, I think you'll try to be reasonable, and hopefully it all works out.